Wake Forest today. First thing is we got to put in a base, and I already went to Lowe's, picked out my lumber. You want to pick the straightest lumber that you can because it makes it a lot easier, especially when you are notching them like we do. And what I did here is I already pre-notched 2 of the cutoff so I can make sure that they line up nice. So it can go on a corner and it can go on a flat. But usually what we do is, so you always want to measure your lumber to get exact. So this is 3.5 wide by 5 9/16 tall. So what you do is you divide the 5 9/16 in half, and that gives you your half lap. Now, usually on a straight, we'll do 4 inches on a straight, and then on the corner, we do the width of the actual 4x6. And then when you notch them, they look perfect. So with our walls being 6 foot, I like to make the long pieces of lumber split half on our walls. So usually I'll start with a 9-foot board, but the width of it is 8 foot, and I like to go an inch over. So I do 97 inches. This one's already cut at 97 inches, so this will be one of the ends right now. And then when you're picking your lumber, you're not going to want any bowed or crook wood. You're going to want it as straight as possible. It depends on also the grain at the end. So this one doesn't really have any knots or anything. So this one's gonna be good for the notch. Like let's say there was a knot right here, it'd be a little bit harder wood to notch and to chisel out. So I'm gonna start one right now. And this one's gonna be an end one, so we have to have 3.5 on both sides. And you also, when you're doing this, you wanna look at both sides of the lumber and pick your pretty side and have that be up. So we're taking out 3.5 inches. So technically this would be my bottom. So I want to take out the bottom. Oh, and another thing. So over here, there is a plastic piece that you set down, and then there's a stop right here. So when you pull this down, it stops right there. And you're going to want to do half of your board. And another thing you're going to need is a chisel that is very sharp. Makes it a lot easier if it's sharp. I mean, this is 2024, and some people do use a flush cut oscillating tool, but I like chisel. So this size is 8 by 24, which 8 is, I go 96 or 97 for 1 inch over, so you have a 1/2 inch reveal on both sides. And then I start with a 9-footer, and then this is a 24, so I like to do a 6 and then another 9. So, I mean, and then also with your overlap, you have to add whatever overlap it is. So I do a 4-inch overlap on the straight. So this one, I'm going to make 9'4" is the first one. The second one is going to be 6'4". The last one will be 9 foot even. So there's going to be 3 on each side and 1 on each end. So that's 6, 7, 8 in total. All right, so another thing that I've learned over the years is we have our first board, we took the top out of both sides. So now this one, I have the top taken out over here, but on this one, where it's going to connect to the other board, we're going to want to take out the bottom so they're easier to put together. So once I take out this bottom, it's going to lay right on top of the previous piece. So we cut the top out of the other piece, cut the bottom out of this one, so they set on there easily, just like that. So I have my last piece cut for the half lap joinery that we're using. Next is the leveling part with the transit. So you're going to want to set this in a place where you're not going to have to move it, and you can still get the whole area in one shot. And you always want to start at your lowest point. And just looking at it, I feel like this corner over here is our lowest point. Make sure no other points are lower than this. So yeah, this has got to go down. Yep, that's got to go down. Yep, they all got to go down. So this is our lowest point, and this is our 0.